Right.
So, you gotta go in the future and see it, baby. You gotta come back in the present. Take that good goal, that good thing. How many years now? You gotta take a small step to make it from the other. Think big, dream big, but start small. That's right, start small. Remember what I told you. Start where you are with what you have, because what you have is clear.
That the biggest enemy you have to deal with is yourself. There's an old African proverb that says if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm.
You don't have to personally be perfect. Are you hearing me? There are those of you right now. You should have cut a CD. You should have wrote a book. You should have gone to school and got that degree. You should have started your own business. There's so many things you should have done. You should have done, but you didn't do it because you're scared. You believe that you said scared of what? I ain't scared. You are scared. You are scared. You're scared of failure. You're scared to make a mistake. You're scared that you're not perfect. I'm telling you today, you ain't gotta be perfect. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You don't have to be perfect to get what you want, to do what you want, to have what you want, to be what you want. You don't have to be perfect. It's a lie.
Where's the right time? You wait for that. You know what you have to do? You have to create the perfect time and the perfect opportunity and the perfect situation. So a lot of people become comfortable. They stop growing. They stop wanting anything. They become satisfied. People getting ready to go to jobs that they don't like. Jobs that are making them sick. You see, when you're not pursuing your goal, you are literally committing spiritual suicide. When you have some goal out here that you're stretching for and reaching for, that takes you out of your comfort zone, you'll find out some talents and abilities you have that you didn't know you had. When the message of misery visits you, what are you going to do? What will keep you in the game? There are things that you think you'll never need to know, that you may only need to know one time in your life, but that could save your life because you had it knowledge. If you attempt to do something beyond that, which you've already mastered, you will never grow. What is it that you looked at some point in time and you decided that you couldn't do it, that you talked yourself out of it? You're waiting on your next door neighbor to make it happen for you, it may not happen. If you're waiting on your mother or your father, they may be so ancient in their thinking that they don't understand this opportunity that you have. And if you're waiting on them and they never get done, you don't pay average people to be phenomenal. You don't pay good people to be phenomenal. You just are phenomenal if you will try. Phenomenal. What reason can you remember that you can fall on, that you can reach on, that can make you get back up? Find that reason. If you're not where you are, if you're not where you want to be, if you don't have what you want to have, if you're not where you think you should be in this particular place, it has nothing to do with the system, but it has everything to do with the fact that you're not making the sacrifice. I want you to make that dream become a reality. If you don't, you will be working for somebody else to make their dream become a reality. Question is, what do you want to do? What drives you? Greatness is a lot of small things done with it. Day after day, workout after workout, meetings after meeting. Yeah. When things don't work out for you, when things happen that you could not anticipate, what are the reasons that you can think of that can keep you strong? You will never, ever be successful until you turn your pain into greatness, until you allow your pain to push you from where you are to push you to where you need to be. Stop running from your pain and embrace your pain. Your pain is going to be a part of your product, a part of your product. I challenge you to push yourself. It's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation to any drive. In order to stay down there at a low level, when it goes on everything in you, you is your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself. I mean, if what you did last week don't matter. Today, the only important day, there are 86,400 seconds today. How do you use those scriptures? You got 86,400 today. And what you do today is what you teach and who you are. Nobody will talk about what you did last week. That is opportunity of a lifetime. It means absolutely nothing if you don't take advantage of it in the lifetime of this opportunity. I gotta say that when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and sleep, if all that you dream and scheme is about, life seems useless and worthless without it. It's time now. You want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life. You've got to start saying yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future, yes to your potential. As opposed to saying no. God will eat. Leave no dream left behind, God. Leave no opportunity left behind. When you leave this earth, accomplish every single thing you can accomplish. Listen to me, you're going to be here one day, but you'll never get here if you give up, if you get there, if you quit. And oh God, you got to want to succeed as bad as you want to free.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, all. If you can hear me, please type in yes, please. Good morning. Welcome. If you can hear me, please type in yes. Okay, good morning. Okay. Okay, if you can hear me. Okay. Okay, now let's start off with our analysis for today. Before we start, I would advise you go through this disclaimer. I'm not a certified financial advisor, so these are just analysis. It's left for you to do your due diligence before you take any of the trade. So, having done that, the next thing we go to is our calendar for today. And if we look at our calendar for today, we don't have any major news within the day. So, today will just be a bit free of any major impact news until later Tuesday, early Tuesday morning, when we're going to have this Australian monetary policy meeting minutes. It's a high impact, as you can see. It's by 1:30 a.m. Then the next one is by 10:30 a.m. That's GDP, average earnings index. Then I think there's going to be another birthday book. Wow. And then Super Wednesday, FOMC. Very interesting. Let's get into our pairs and what we're expecting for the week. As always, the first pair we start off with is the dollar index. And looking at the dollar index from a daily point of view, dollar index, as you can see, he's making a series of higher highs. Making a series of higher highs. Hello? Hello? Can you all still hear me, please? Yes, I noticed interference. Can you all hear me? I'm trying to correct it. Can you all hear me now? Hello? Okay. Okay. Thank you. So let's continue. If we look at the dollar index, there seems to be a bit of, it seems to be in an upward trend on the daily time frame. As you can see, it's making series of higher highs and higher lows. So what we're expecting is it may drop a bit
it may drop a bit down to this area here at 96.34, or try and tap this trend line here, this area. So there's a potential it may drop down here and move back up. But we already have what appears to be an inside candle here, an inside bar here. So there is a potential that it may not drop down further, but may take off completely. So knowing that, what do we do? If you can't hear me, please, you may have to log out and log back in. So knowing that, what do? We go down to our intraday chart, and we have this support at 96.39. For now, dollar seems to be dropping. Then we have this trend line. So this is the game plan. Let me get rid of this. As at the time I drew this was still active. Should dollar come down here and find support, then there is the potential that you may have a double bottom here and a move higher. But should it break this support, then it may drop down to this trend line. So you'll be expecting something like this. If it finds support here, it's going to go up. No, sorry, that wasn't my intention. If he comes down here and finds support, there is a tendency he might go up to this place. Or on the other hand, should it go below this level, you will expect it to retest here. Then there is a question of this trend line here. This trend line may give it a bit of a problem. So it will only be fully bearish upon a break of this trend line. So for now, what we might be seeing in dollar index is a bit of a weakness as long as this trend line holds to continue the uptrend. So the next pair we'll be looking at is gold. And looking at gold from a daily point of view, it has broken this trend line, this secondary trend line, but there is another trend line here. So looking at this from an intraday perspective, how do you play this out? Now, there seems to be support here between 1294.07 to 1290.14 here. And if you notice, there's this trend line. This trend line is coming all the way from down here. That's where this trend line support is coming from. So now the question exists, and then there is a falling resistance trend line here. So this is where gold seems to be boxed for now. But if you look at this may be left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder may be playing out. Right shoulder may be playing out. So we are looking at a head and shoulder pattern on gold for hour. So should this trend line hold, then we may see gold come down towards this level. That is, if it should rise to this trend line and it serves as resistance, then we may see price come down. And if gold finds support between 1294 to 1290 and this trend line, then you may have this situation play out. But for now, gold is between 1311.75 to 1219.04. That's the point at which gold is boxed in for now. The next pair we'll be looking at is the USD CHF. And looking at the USD CHF from a daily point of view, you can see that it is making a series of higher highs and higher lows, as you can see. And now there is this trend line support that price is coming into. And also there is an area here. So what do we do with this? We go down to our intraday chart, to our 4-hour chart. So as we can see, it seems to be breaking this support at 1.0020. But there is a trend line around it. So as long as this trend line holds, there is a potential that price may come down here if this trend line holds and move higher. But should this trend line break, then you will see something like this and it move down. So that's the game plan from gold. But should this area hold, then you may see a move higher. As you can see from the daily, it is having a sort of correction. Let me go back to the daily. If you look at it, it seems to be having a correction of this move. So it may pull back to a certain point and continue back up. As long as this trend line holds, a break of this trend line will change the scenario from being bullish to bearish. The next one we'll be looking at is the Euro USD. Looking at the Euro USD from a daily point of view, looking at the Euro USD from a daily point of view, we seem to have, as you can see, hello, is everyone hearing me clearly? If you're hearing me clearly, please type in yes. Someone made a comment that they are having interference. Are you having, if you're having any sort of interference on your audio, please, could you let me know? Okay, everybody seems to be hearing me loud and clear. Okay, so let me continue. We see Friday's candle closed as a long upper wick and in an area of resistance here. So, how do we sort this out? We go down to our intraday chart. The chart I've posted to, some of you already have this chart, so you could use it to mark up your levels. First, we have a series of trend lines on this bed. Let me zoom out a bit so we can see. As you can see, this seems to be a downward sloping channel. And this move up was from this lower end of this channel. So this bullish move is correcting a bit of this bearish move. So the question now is, will it continue higher or will it end here? A move above 1.1345 here will signal a move higher, but it has a series of trend lines to take care of. It has this one, the topmost channel coming in there. Then it has this one running from this high to this high coming in there. So it has series of trend lines stacked against it. A move clearly above these trend lines will signal a move higher. But should price reject from its current area here, should price reject from its current area, then we might see a move down to this point on the Euro USD. As you know, the dollar index the dollar index is approaching an area of support. The next one we'll be looking at is the GBP USD. Looking at the GBP USD from a daily point of view, it's at the resistance area. Or I'll say resistance zone. The zone comes in between 1.3283. It's a large resistance zone. So I go down to my intraday chart. The most important thing is, where are your levels of resistance and where are your levels of support? So this is the first level of resistance, 1.3339. And your first level of support comes in between 1.32, 1.3225 and 1.3202 here. So the GBP USD will be an interesting pair if it gets to this point and this place holds as resistance, or if it comes down to 1.3225 and it finds buyers in there. Either of these areas are points to look out for. But for now, the Euro GBP USD is in what I would refer to as a no man's land. The next pair we'll be looking at is the Euro GBP. Looking at the Euro GBP, let's look at it from a daily point of view. From a daily point of view, this is his resistance. The resistance is at 85.49. His level of support is at 0.8510. A move above this resistance zone and this trend line will signal a bullish move on the euro pound. So you'll be expecting something like this, and they move higher. But should it move and fall back in here, then you know that the move is false and it may go down lower. So for now, it seems to be within a range. The euro pound seems to be between a range between 85.49 first resistance range and 85.75, while his support comes in at 85.10 first support, second support comes in at 84.88. The next pair we'll be looking at is the AUD USD, and overnight the AUD USD has broken this trend line. As you can see, we have an inverse head and shoulder here. Price broke above, tested the first time, met resistance here, came down, found support, and it has now broken here. So what would you be expecting on this pair? The best bet is to wait for a retest of this level. Then you join them upwards on this pair. For now, he has broken this trend line, signaling a slightly bullish move on the AUD USD for now. The next pair we'll be looking at is the USD JPY. Looking at the USD JPY, this was resistance before, as you can see, it's still named R, but now it is serving as support. So as long as price stays above here, there is a potential that price may run up to either this trend line resistance or this resistance at 112.01. So those are the levels for the USD JPY. The next pair we'll be looking at is the Euro Yen. And looking at the Euro Yen, this is its level of resistance, 1.2658, and this is its level of support, 1.2660. A move out of either of these areas, a break above here might be bullish, but you should bear in mind that it has a zone, a resistance area here, and a falling trend line. That falling trend line comes in from as way back as this area, as you can see. So that is where this trend line is coming from, and it is just above this resistance area. So you need to be careful, as should price break above this area, should price break above this area, it may run into this and drop back. But should it break above here and retest this area, then you'll be looking for a bullish move higher in this case. The next pair we'll be looking at is the GBP JPY. Looking at the GBP JPY, he's still sitting below a resistance. He has this resistance trend line and this resistance level at 148.59. So the storyline is, as long as it's below this level, as long as this level serves as resistance, there exists a potential that GBP JPY may drop down to this level. He would only be bearish if you get this. If you get a break of this entire area, you wait for a retest and you move down. But as long as he stays this above this area, you are looking at a range/consolidation move on the GBP JPY. So your best bet would be to play the ranges as it comes up. The next pair I'll be looking at is the GBP CHF. I'm looking at the GBP CHF. It has resistance here at 1.3389, trend line support, and static support at 1.3257. Should price drop to this trend line and find support, then there is a potential it may move into this area. But should it break this trend line and this static support, wait for a retest and take the trend, trade down to this trend line. But should this trend line hold as support, then price may likely come back up, as this trend line is coming all the way from down this area. So you need to be watchful when price comes to this trend line. The next pair we'll be looking at is the AUD, Euro AUD. And looking at the Euro AUD, he has broken his first trend, his first support. And just like I said with the AUD USD, the AUD USD has also broken its own resistance. So on this pair, what you'll be waiting for is a retest of this area. If you get a retest of this area and it holds as resistance, then you can engage a short down to 1.5902. But first, you must wait for a pullback and test, as price is currently sitting on this trend line support here. It may pull back a bit. The next pair we'll be looking at is the GBP-AUD. Same thing too. He has broken his own trend line. He may drop straight down to 1.8680, or he may retest here before going down. But for now, this pair seems to be in a bearish move down. The next pair I'll be looking at is the NZD-USD. And the NZD-USD is looking a bit bullish, but he has this trend line to contend. Trend line is coming from here. That's from this point. It's a 4-hour trend line. So as long as it stays below this trend line, there exists the potential he may either try to retest this support trend. But a break above this trend line and a retest and it holds as support, then it may hold higher. But should it drop here and this trend line holds, it may move higher. Or it may break this trend line, wait for a retest, and take the trade down. So these are the scenarios on the New Zealand USD. The next pair we'll be looking at is the AUD USD card. And the USD card gave, if you look at it from the daily, seems to be finding support at this area. Friday's candle closed as a doji, a crossed doji. So we go down to the 4-hour. This is a storyline with this pair. As long as this support here, let me add this other support here. As long as this support area holds, that is 1.33, 1.33 to 1.3287 holds as support, there exists a potential that price may do this and move higher. Because we still have this inverse head and shoulder. Inverse head and shoulder still playing out on this pair. So that's next pair we'll be looking at is the USD card. As you can see, the USD card, no, the GBP card, sorry. The GBP card is reacting from this resistance at 1.7728 here. So as it is dropping, it may find support here at 1.7593. So should this area hold as support, then you may see price do this and move up to this area. But should this area fail as support, then the next place will be this support trend line. Should it hold, price may move up. But should it fail as support, expect a pullback and then take a trade down. So that is it for today's Forex review for the 18th of March 2019. If you have any questions, this is my Telegram handle. You can always reach me out on this handle and I'll be happy to attend to your questions. Once again, thank you all for coming. I'll be posting the recorded session link to your Telegram groups. So once again, thank you all for coming. Do have a beautiful trading day and a blessed week ahead. Thank you.